we looked at doing an expansion and getting 5 marks. And when you drill this skill, which you need to, it's a fantastic way to get quite a few marks in an exam. So use your expansion. We're going to use this, okay, which, you know, it's this, isn't it? This thing equals this thing here. Use this to estimate root 11. So if I look at root 9 plus 8x, so I'm going to sort of keep it how it was in the question, and I look at root 11, how could I use this to find a value for this? Well, I'm going to think about when they would be equal to each other then, right? Because if I think about when they would be equal to each other, I'm saying when I would be able to use my expansion to solve this. And then by doing that, I can find a value for x, and then I'm going to use that value of x in my expansion over here, because that will be using the expansion. And the estimate part, why does it say an estimate? Because it's binomial expansion, this for a fractional or negative power, this will just go on infinitely, and I've just picked the first 3 terms. So what I'm going to do here won't give me a fully accurate answer, but it will be quite a good answer. Okay, so when I've set these equal to each other, solving for x, well, I'm going to square both sides, which will be 11. I'll take the 9 away from both sides, and I'm going to go ahead and say x is 0.25. So what does that mean? It means if I want to use the expansion to approximate root 11, I will need to use a value of x, where x is 0.25. Okay, that's effectively what it's saying. Use your, and I mean, some of you will have noticed there's a shortcut which you can just say how much do you need to add on to the 9 to make it 11 and work backwards there. That's fine. This method here, though, is sort of a general way that you can do it. So we're going to use this now in our expansion. So let's say then this is going to be 3 plus 4/3 of 0.25, okay, minus 8 over 27, and that'll be 0.25 squared, which is a quarter. Okay, so I'm just going to type this all into a calculator, and let's have a look what it says. So 3 plus 4/3 times 0.5 minus 8 over 27, which is multiplied by 0.25 being squared. Hang on a second, just need to put some brackets in somewhere on my calculator. I must have messed up. Oh dear. Okay. Just give me one moment. I'm going to start again. So 4/3 brackets 0.25. So this time I'm just putting brackets in and just entering exactly as I did on screen. I'll try to save a little bit of time, but that was not a good idea. Okay, so I get my answer then as 3. Let's write this down. So I get my answer as 3. Does it say anything about decimal places? Giving you an answer as a simplified fraction. Okay, well, actually my calculator does come up with a fraction of 179 over 54. So let's just double check that one. Do we have an answer over here? Yeah, 179 over 54. So what did we get the marks for? We got the marks for finding the quarter. We got the marks for substituting it in. I mean, I suppose because it was a quarter, really, we could have manipulated it that way. But I don't see that we would have lost any marks there. Okay, so 179 over 54 is an approximation. And why is it an approximation? Well, if I just write, I'm just going to write down the decimal value so I don't lose this in a second. So I'm just going to write a few decimal places. And now on my calculator, I type in root 11. So this is my approximation, and the real answer is 3.3166. So can you see, I actually get quite close. So what we're doing there then is using the binomial expansion to sort of estimate values, comparing and then plugging in.